The Bering Strait sky was a cold, hard blue, stretching over the isolated Diomede Islands. Big Diomede for Russia, little Diomede for the US between them, the invisible, absolute international date line. On October 3, 2025, that line was about to be tested. Two Russian Tu-95 Bear bombers, escorted by Su-35 Flanker E fighters, thundered out of the Siberian haze. Their flight was no accident. It was a message, a probe, a test of will. The bombers' propellers churned the Arctic air, while the fighters scanned the horizon, ready for anything. They entered the Alaskan Air Defense Identification Zone, unannounced and silent. From the east, two American F-16 Fighting Falcons screamed into view, scrambled from Eielson Air Force Base. Their mission: intercept, identify, and escort, showing this border was protected. The American pilots, Viper 1 and Viper 2, locked eyes on the Russian formation. The tension was palpable as the two groups closed in. The sky became a stage for a dangerous ballet. The F-16s slid into position, one off the Bear's wing, the other shadowing the flankers. No shots, no missiles, just a battle of nerve and positioning. Every maneuver was calculated, every glance a message. For minutes they flew together in a silent, hostile procession. The American pilots could see the Russians in their cockpits. The Russians could see the American flags. It was a professional yet deeply adversarial encounter. The world watched, but up here, it was just steel, ice, and resolve. The standoff ended as quickly as it began, each side peeling away, message delivered. The border held, but the tension lingered in the Arctic air. This was the new normal at the edge of the world. The Diomede Islands returned to silence, but the memory of the encounter remained. In these skies, history and strategy collide. The line between peace and conflict is as thin as the air at 30,000 feet. Here, every flight is a statement, and every statement could change the world. The dance was over, for now. This was no navigational error. It was a calculated move in a global chess game. Russian flights like these are probes, testing US air defense readiness and gathering intelligence without firing a shot. The timing was strategic, forcing the US to divert resources and attention to the Arctic. For Russia, it's a low-cost, high-impact way to project power and distract from other global tensions. Domestically, these flights fuel propaganda, reinforcing Russia's image as a resurgent military power. For American pilots, each intercept is routine, but never risk-free. A single misstep could escalate fast. The job is to assert control without provoking conflict, a delicate balance in a decades-long standoff. These encounters are reminders that the Cold War's shadow still lingers over the icy north. Every maneuver is scrutinized, every response analyzed. The stakes are high, even when the guns stay silent. Over the Diomede Islands, the game continues. The aircraft in this drama are icons of their nation's military philosophies. The Russian Tu-95 Bear, a Cold War relic, is loud, slow, but still a credible threat, updated to carry modern cruise missiles. Its escort, the Su-35 Flanker E, is a marvel of Russian engineering, agile, fast, and packed with advanced electronics. On the American side, the F-16 Fighting Falcon, lightweight, agile, and endlessly upgraded, remains a workhorse of the US Air Force. The Bear symbolizes brute strategic power. The Flanker, modern maneuverability. The Falcon, adaptability. When these machines meet, it's more than pilots. It's doctrines, histories, and ambitions colliding at supersonic speeds. Each aircraft's presence is a statement of national intent. The encounter is a living display of military evolution. In the Arctic sky, technology and strategy are on full display. The outcome isn't measured in missiles, but in messages sent and received. This is the real language of power. Russia's interest in Alaska is centuries old, rooted in the days of Russian America. The sale of Alaska in 1867 is seen by some Russians as a historic mistake, a lost strategic asset. Today, Russia's Arctic ambitions are about influence, not reclaiming land. Putin's government is building bases, reopening airfields, and constructing icebreakers to dominate the Arctic. When Russian bombers fly near Alaska, they're invoking history and signaling future intent. The Tu-95s trace old routes, but now they carry strategic messages, not furs. The past and future meet in these icy skies. The Arctic is no longer just a US-Russia rivalry. China is now a major player. Declaring itself a near-Arctic state, China invests in icebreakers, research, and Arctic shipping. The Northern Sea route, opening as ice melts, is a strategic prize for China's global trade ambitions. China's partnership with Russia is reshaping the region, with joint military drills and economic projects. The sight of Chinese and Russian warships near Alaska is a new, unsettling reality for US planners. The F-16 intercept is part of a broader pattern. Two powers challenging US dominance in the high north. The Arctic is now a three-way contest: Eagle, Bear, and Dragon. Every encounter is a test of alliances and resolve. The stakes have never been higher. The interception wasn't luck. It was NORAD's layered defense in action. Ground-based radars, satellites, and AWACS aircraft form a seamless surveillance network. When the Russian bombers appeared, NORAD's command centers tracked, analyzed, and scrambled fighters within minutes. The F-16s are the visible tip of a vast, invisible shield. Technology and coordination give NORAD pilots a decisive edge. The encounter proved the system works, quietly, relentlessly, every day. The continent remains protected by an unblinking eye. Every encounter over Alaska is a move in a global game of power. For Russia, flying bombers near US airspace says, "We're still here, still a nuclear power." For the US, scrambling F-16s says, "We're watching, we're ready, and this line will be defended." These are acts of political theater, sending messages to allies and adversaries alike. The professionalism of the intercept is crucial, showing resolve without provoking escalation. Images of these encounters reassure allies and warn rivals. The ripple effects reach NATO, the Pacific, and beyond. A firm response strengthens alliances. Hesitation invites doubt. Both sides know the risks. One wrong move could spark disaster. So, they follow unwritten rules. Safe distances, no sudden moves, constant signaling. It's a dangerous dance, always on the edge. The stakes are global, the margin for error razor thin. In these skies, geopolitics is personal. The Arctic, once a frozen barrier, is now a frontier for competition. Melting ice is opening new sea lanes and access to vast resources: oil, gas, rare minerals. Russia is building up its military presence, claiming the Northern Sea route as its own. The US is ramping up, recognizing Alaska's new strategic importance. The F-16 intercept is part of this shift, America signaling it won't cede the Arctic. The real contest is over: who will set the rules for the region's future? With few treaties and rising activity, the risk of conflict grows. The Arctic is heating up, fast. The next chapter of global power may be written here. The visible standoff hides a digital duel, an invisible battle in the electromagnetic spectrum. Modern jets are flying sensors, gathering intelligence on each other's radars and electronic signatures. Each side builds a library of data, seeking an edge in future conflicts. Electronic intelligence is as valuable as missiles. Knowing first means acting first. The F-16s and Su-35s were locked in a silent exchange of signals, not just stares. This digital battlefield is the new high ground. The encounter over Alaska proved, in the 21st century, data is power. Control the information, control the sky.